Hey everybody, my name is Brandon from thestockexchange.com, and today I want to talk about Virgin Galactic stock, ticker symbol SPCE, and how it's down over 30% in about a month. What I want to do first is go into Google and talk about the macro story behind what's going on with Virgin Galactic, and then I want to go into the earnings report to talk about how Galactic is doing as a business, and then I want to go into the stock charts to see if there's a level or two to buy Virgin Galactic if we want to buy Virgin Galactic. So now let's get started. So here we are on Google, and here's a 1 month view of Virgin Galactic stock charts here, and we can see that in about a month we are down over 30%. So firstly, this is just a pretty volatile stock. Intrinsically, because Virgin Galactic is a pre-revenue company and still in the testing phase, this company's stock is really being pushed by sentiment and momentum at this point. Because of this, just looking at the 1 year view over here, we can see that we have been having some massive tops and also some massive valleys. This volatility is the price that you pay for returns, and companies like this one, like Virgin Galactic, will be quite volatile. But again, we will talk more about the stock chart in the last part of the video. What I want to talk more about now is why we're seeing this drop off right now. And to answer that, in a macro point of view, we can scroll down here and take a look at the news. And if we look, we can see that there is a couple macro trends going on. The first macro reason of why I think the stock is falling is because a bunch of analysts, like this one from Credit Suisse, has been downgrading Virgin Galactic stock. We can see here that for Credit Suisse and Morgan Stanley, both of their main concerns were around the lack of exciting launches for the near future. Again, because this stock is pushed by momentum and excitement, and the thinking goes that if there are no exciting launches coming up in the next few months, then there should be no excitement, which means that the stock should fall. We can see here in this Fox Business article that the suspected reason for the lack of launches is because they are improving the mothership and the flights are expected to resume in the summer of 2022. However, a year is a long time to wait for some investors, especially because this company is not really generating any revenue at the moment yet, which leads us to our valuation discussion. Galactic is currently at a $6.5 billion valuation right now. If we look back into Google, we can see that the valuation of Virgin Galactic is around 6.5 billion United States dollars, and we'll see in the earnings report the revenues are infinitesimally small compared to the market cap. So the real question is, and the question that I want you to continue asking yourself for the rest of the video, is why is Virgin Galactic worth this $6.5 billion market cap? As I've mentioned in previous videos, there are many reasons why you could say that Galactic is actually worth this market cap or higher. For instance, you could say that there are only a few companies out there right now in the space tourism market, so Galactic may be able to capture market share of a very big total addressable market right now with no competitors. Or you may say, what I've been saying in the past few videos is that Galactic may be worth this valuation and more because of the potential for point-to-point travel. The Galactic flight that Richard Branson went on came from Earth up to space and then back down to Earth in under 2 hours. Imagine getting anywhere in the world in under 2 hours. To me, that is insane and a very large business potential, especially again because Branson's technology is an airplane-like design, while Bezos' tech is a weird-looking rocket. That means that Branson and Galactic should have an easier time transitioning to the current infrastructure of airports than Bezos. As a side note, I just want to spend a couple seconds talking about the environmental impact of these space flights. One, because I have a biochemistry master's degree and I should use it once in a while, and two, because the environment is important to me. Galactic is using a blend of HT, PB, and nitrous oxide, basically two things that are not good for the environment. If you recognize what nitrous oxide actually is, it's actually laughing gas. So you could say that Branson was laughing his way up to space, but besides that, this nitrous oxide gas is worse than carbon dioxide for global warming. Now, this is not a science show, but if you're interested, I encourage you to either look at this article here from Stanford or this article here from space.com to read up on the environmental impacts. However, even with those bull cases from Galactic, you still may say that Galactic is not worth $6.5 billion because they are not making any money at the moment. And you may be right. So let's look more into the argument when we look into Galactic's earnings report. So here we are on Virgin Galactic's most recent earnings report, and we'll just go through this part of the video quickly. We can see here top line revenues, which is this earnings report for this most recent quarter, is about $571,000. But note, they are reopening reservations of spots for future space flights for about $600,000 a seat, so we may see some revenues coming into the business over the next few quarters. However, of course, there is a risk that there is not a lot of interest out there. That, of course, is a risk that may be a downside risk for the stock. Moving on to look at the total operating expenses here, which is this line on the earnings report, we can see that we are at a net loss, and that is accelerating year over year. And we can see, if we look into the detailed view, we can see that our sales, general, and administrative expenses are increasing year over year, while our research and development spending are actually decreasing year over year. You all know me by now. I want to see the reverse of this. I want to see increased spending in research and development and decreased spending in sales, general, and administrative, because I think research and development offers a better return on investment by investing into your product. So as we move on here, we can see that the net loss here is still increasing year over year. Now, that's not the worst thing in the world. We are still losing money, but because we are losing money, investors do have to make sure that Galactic still has enough money in the bank. And we can get a look into that by looking at the balance sheet, which I pulled up on this tab here. We can see that our cash and cash equivalents is still decreasing 6 months over 6 months, which makes sense because we are at a net loss. But now, with looking at these numbers here, now we can do some back of the envelope math to see how much time Galactic has in the bank. So we can see here, in about 6 months from December to June, we burned about $120 million in cash. You can do some math here to see how much months Galactic has left if we maintain this rate of loss, which by my count is about 3 years left. Again, this is assuming that Galactic maintains this rate of net loss. But even then, this does not mean that Galactic only has 3 years left to turn a profit. They can generate other monies by doing things like secondary offerings, which will contribute to share dilution, which is bad if you're an investor. And if we look back at the statement of operations here, which I pulled up in this tab again, we can see that share dilution is definitely happening. We can see that the amount of shares in circulation, which is this line on earnings report here, we can see that that is definitely increasing year over year. So that is another thing that investors should keep in mind before investing in Virgin Galactic. But again, back to the main question of, is this company, Virgin Galactic, is it worth the $6.5 billion market cap? It's up to you to decide, as always. But my opinion is that the fundamentals of the business definitely leave a lot to be desired. There are definitely things that the company can improve on, like cutting back on sales, general, and administrative spending, in my opinion, but the macro tailwinds of point-to-point travel does make a compelling bull case to me, because again, my time horizon is quite long. So after talking about the fundamentals and the macro picture of what's going on with Virgin Galactic stock, now let's talk about Virgin Galactic stock charts to see if there's a level or two to buy Virgin Galactic if we want to buy Virgin Galactic. So here we are in Virgin Galactic stock charts here, and we can see that in the past few days we have really fallen off a cliff here. We can see that we really destroyed this $30 support level that we've been at for the past few days before coming back down to this $25 support level down here, made from this strong candle over here and the bottoms of these candles over here. So of course the question is, what happens to the stock now? And of course nobody knows, and if anybody tells you that they know what will happen, then they're either lying or they're crazy. But for me, just looking at these levels here, I think that we could find some support where we are at right now, around this $25 level. Supporting my reasoning is because $25 is a nice round number, which plays into market psychology a little bit, so we could have a little bounce off from this $25 support level. But I do think there's definitely a chance that we could see the tops of these candles over here around the $22, $23 level, and we might even drop back down below $20, which was this support level down here. Again, there's a bunch of heavy downward momentum in the stock at the moment, so it is definitely a dangerous game to try to time the bottom, absolutely. For me, if I wanted to expand my position in Virgin Galactic, I would probably be averaging back into the stock, which means that I will be slowly buying shares as it goes down. Again, this is because I'm young and I have a long time horizon, and I can stomach a little bit of risk here by maintaining a small position. With momentum stocks like Virgin Galactic, the stock on any news could drop like a rock or go to the moon if anything surprises the stock. Again, the price that you pay for returns is volatility and risk. And because of my long-term time horizon, I can focus more on the potential macro future of the stock and hope that the fundamentals catch up to the stock. For me, that means that I am mainly thinking about point-to-point travel. That, I think, is what is interesting about Virgin Galactic, and that, I think, is what should be talked more about. So that was my review on Virgin Galactic stock. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. If you have any questions or if you caught any mistakes, also drop me a comment down below. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.